Looking for a little romance?
Come on, Jerry.
Let me see this. Oh, not a bad vintage. I take it you're planning to seal the deal with the lovely Elizabeth?
What, are you following me now?
Well, I just thought I'd check in and make sure the conversation doesn't include me.
Mate, out of your mind. There's a police investigation underway. They know someone injected Alexis and Jocelyn.
Well, it was a vaccine, and there's no way to trace it back to me.
What if we're seen together?
Who's going to see us?
Well, Elizabeth, for one.
Well, perhaps you should have considered that before making this dinner arrangement.
Look, I told you to leave Elizabeth the hell alone.
And I want you to understand that however tempting it is to confess to the lovely and compassionate Elizabeth, need I go on? You are not to tell a word about us working together.
Yeah. Let me know when you made it out of town, okay? Jerry.
Do I smell chicken?
Just get in quick.
Nice room.
Yeah, well, you're paying for it. What are you doing here? Don't you think there's a chance you could be recognized? I mean, you held the place hostage and all.
Oh, don't worry. I know this hotel like the back of my hand.
If you say so.
I knew it was getting too crowded and boring. There was no room service. Oh, by the way, did you manage to send your son out of town?
With any luck, he's long gone. So now what? What's the next step?
Well, my niece and Alexis Davis have been inoculated, and therefore I'm immune. So the prelude's over. It's time to rock and roll. Is your team assembled?
Ready and waiting.
Good. You and your team have a very important job. You're to make sure that the pathogen makes its way into the bodies of every citizen in Port Charles.
Go door to door giving out shots?
No, that's not very efficient. And we lose the element of surprise. So no needles. I have a far more efficient way to make sure that it enters everyone's bloodstream. You see, you can't live without water. That's why aquifers, reservoirs, and wells are so important. They're the gateway into the bloodstream of all the thirsty people in town.
Yeah, I don't need a civics lesson. Just tell me what to do.
All right? You and your team will meet me at Port Charles Reservoir at 2 a.m. I'll bring the materials.
You have a tanker truck stashed somewhere?
Don't be ridiculous. This solution is hyper-concentrated.
And you're sure it'll work?
Well, I once dosed Nicholas Cassadine with something very similar. He had to meet my demands or die, and it worked very well. This is the same thing on a larger scale. The entire town, with the exception of two very special people.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised that you bothered to save anyone.
Come on, I still have some family feeling, although my brother would disagree. Jax doesn't realize how much trouble it took me to get him stranded on the other side of the planet.
Were you actually protecting your brother, or did you just not want him to figure out what you were up to?
Even if Carly chose to tell Jax of Jocelyn's illness, he would never make it out here in time. And by now, he'd know that she's going to be fine. He just doesn't realize that I'm the one who protected her.
Safely out of town.
Oh, that must be a great comfort to you. Job well done.
Well, what about me and my crew? You know, if we're going to be handling that stuff, it could get dangerous. We're going to need that vaccine.
I thought I told you. I have a limited supply, and it's being used by other parties as well.
Then you're going to have to find someone else for this job. I'm not going anywhere near that stuff without guaranteed protection.
Relax, Joe. I've got you covered. Okay? So we're clear? 2 a.m. at the Port Charles Reservoir?
And you're 1,000% sure you can protect me?
You have my word.
That's supposed to make me feel better?
Oh, you want to go back to prison? I thought not.
Oh, what did I get myself into? It's about time I heard from you, Trey. Made it. I'm on the plane. All systems go. At least one of us is safe.
It's already in motion. The situation will be resolved in the next 3 days. If you violate our agreement, I will come after you. And as you know, I will have nothing to lose.